Ahoy hoy everyone, welcome to another spooky episode of the O Show. I'm O and I'm here for your amusement. Okay, so I have a cute little movie to talk about because this one is animated. So we have Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, you guys. Ooh, Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School. Oh Lord, can you see it? Well, so I found this like at a Walmart, like $5 bin. So Scooby-Doo is over here, and then the second feature on here is Scooby-Doo and the Legend of the Vampire. I didn't even heard of that one, but so from what I understand, I guess like late 70s, early 80s, Hanna-Barbera was doing a whole bunch of. They were taking their cartoons and making them into movies, and like one example is the Jetsons Meet the Flintstones, right? Which I actually do have behind me. I'll talk about that movie one day, maybe next year, because now that I'm older, that movie's stupid. But I used to like watching it as a kid because, you know, oh my god, the Jetsons and the Flintstones are on TV together at the same time. So with Scooby-Doo, they went and did a whole bunch of movies. It was either like 8 or 10 or something. And Ghoul School was number 3, I think, in the list, from what I understand. But back in the 80s, Ghoul School used to always show on WGN, which was Channel 9 here in Chicago. It was always on. And there was other cartoon movies and stuff they showed, like Huckleberry Hound had a movie and all that stuff. But yeah, I used to watch Ghoul School because I liked Scooby-Doo. And then, like, he's in this school with these crazy girls. It was like this dumb military academy next door. And it occupied my time. But watching it as an adult now, this movie's very interesting. So, first of all, on the cover, like, we all know Shaggy wears a green shirt. But in the movie, he's wearing a red shirt. And I never knew why. Like, I thought maybe they would just keeping it separate so that you know this is not the cartoon, because like Velma, Daphne, all of them are not in it. It's just Shaggy, Scooby-Doo, and Scrappy-Doo. And now I understand why the world hates Scrappy-Doo, because he's so damn annoying. This whole movie, he's like, the movie just starts and he already like falls out this van and doing stuff and saying stupid shit like, put your seatbelt on. Like, what are you doing?
He's not only working out, he's falling out.
Whee! I bet this is great for building up my shoulder muscles. Anything you say, Uncle Scooby.
So, in this movie, Shaggy is a gym teacher. Because that's what we did. We solve mysteries and then we become a gym teacher. So I don't know. He signs up with this place called Grimwood's Finishing School for Girls or something. I don't know what it's called. But it's his academy, and it seems like the only reason he's there is to help these girls win a volleyball game. So I'm like, okay, that's a job. I mean, I know there's like volleyball teachers, but that's just the generic coach at high school, isn't it? No shame, you're a volleyball teacher. But that's what it is. You hear like he's gonna be the gym teacher, but no, he gets there and they're like, oh, we got this volleyball game we gotta win. I want a trophy. Oh, is that why I'm here? So he gets to the mansion. Well, they do. And right away, we meet Matches. And Matches is this pet dragon that lives in the school. They have a hand that kind of floats around and does things like Thing from the Addams Family, but this hand like flies. So I never understood, like, is there like an invisible man with just this one glove on? Like, I don't know what's happening. But he's just there. The place is run by a woman named Miss Griswold. And there are 5 students attending this academy. First one is Sabella, and she is a vampire. The next young lady is Winnie, the werewolf. We have Elsa Frankenteen. Phantasma, the Phantom. And last but not least, we have Tannis, the Mummy. So, the gag here, you guys, is that these daughters are all daughters of the classic scary monsters from the past, right? Dracula, the Mummy, Now, I swear in this movie, Frankenstein calls himself Frankenteen. I don't know if that was like an error or I guess he's not Frankenstein in it. I don't know. Was there some kind of copyright to say Frankenstein? I don't know. But they call themselves Frankenteen. So whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, so anyway, like I was saying, they want to win a volleyball game against the military academy next door called Callaway. Camp Callaway. Callaway Academy or somebody. So next door, there's this captain or colonel. He's a colonel. Colonel Calloway. And he has 5 boys there. I don't remember their names, but there's this black kid named Jamal. And the person who does his voice is Bumper Robinson. I don't know who these other people are who do the voices. But, yeah, you guys. So, it's so weird. So when we start seeing Shaggy, I guess, training the girls, they do everything but train for the volleyball game. Now, they're running. At one point, there's like some ballet happening with tutus. We got to do some deep breathing, but they call it deep shrieking. Like, they're doing everything but practice volleyball. Do they even know how to play volleyball? Like, I don't know. Like, that's probably why asses are losing every year. So, it's so weird. Okay, you guys, so actually there is one more character. There is a villain in the movie. So, kind of throughout the movie, you see this lady and this thing spying on these girls, right? So this is Revolta, a 4-armed lady who is what the hell does she call herself?
I, Revolta, the Witch of the Web, will be the most powerful witch in all of monsterdom.
Oh god. And then she has like her like assistant thing. His name is the Grim Creeper. I don't know. He's dumb. He's his thing. But yeah, so she keeps spying on these girls because she has this evil plan to steal them and revoltize them. They're gonna get revolticized. Okay, hold on. Just hold that thought. Super side note, there's this part where Miss Grimwald is feeding steaks to these men, or, well, I guess man-eating plants. They're outside. And she's all like, come and get it. And you're like, what is she feeding? And it turns out being plants. But I'm like, come and get it. The plants can't move. Like, you gotta go to them. Alright, so one day, Colonel Calloway is like, I'm gonna go over and invite the girls to our annual volleyball tournament. Like, why is this not already on the calendar? Like, you're literally saying this is an annual thing. They should already know, like, what day and time this game is taking place, right? And then he has the nerve to go over there and talk about, like, okay, well, we're going to play this game at 1400 hours, and it's 1 o'clock right now. So he literally invites them to this game in the next hour. What the hell is that about? So anyway, he does, and they do. So they all go outside, because now, you know, again, the girls have done everything but play. So everyone goes outside to play volleyball. You got the boys in like short shorts and like tank tops and stuff. It's so funny. So he's all like bitching that there's no net and there's no like boundaries. Like, again, why do we not know this game is taking place? So they do. And what's so crazy is that every time the boys see the girls do something, or like there's this spider who's making the web like literally on the volleyball poles to make the net. they're always like, oh my god, like what's that and what's that? Like, if you do this like every year, you should know by now what the hell's happening. Especially with Sabella, she turns into a bat. She does it right in front of them too, and they're like, what's happening? What? You're not new. Like, I feel like you've been there for like a while. And there's a part at the beginning of the movie where they're spying on the girls. Like, they got this telescope and they're looking through the windows. Like, I don't understand why everything's like a surprise to these boys. There's this weird part in the movie. Well, it's during the volleyball game. Matches has this whole like hot dog setup apparently. Like, he has footlongs and buns and he heats it up, which is actually kind of cool when you think about it. Like, he just heats this thing up and it cooks the hot dogs. But what's so funny is that every time Scooby and Shaggy, because you know they eat a lot. That's all they do, they eat. Every time they try to eat something, it ends up being some kind of creepy food. You know, like it's it's like punch made out of like swamp water, or this is made out of like rotting whatever. Like, apparently there's at one point they're trying to catch caterpillars for like treats, and just everything's gross, right? But then out of nowhere, Matches has these hot dogs. And they seem to be fine because they're eating the hot dog. How could no one offer them a hot dog earlier when they were complaining about all the food and they couldn't eat anything? Alright, and then at one part, they wanted a pizza, so Sabella turns into a bat and flies away. And then she comes back with this pizza. She's like, oh, there's spider webs on it, and there's like some kind of weird mushrooms things, and something else gross on it. And then, of course, like, Shaggy and Scooby, like, hate it. But where the fuck did you get this pizza from? Who was making this pizza? Y'all, this movie's a trip. So, the Calloway boys are cheating their asses off, right? They're doing, like, they got jetpacks. And then this one boy was like, I put something in the ball, and I'm going to use this remote control, and no one's going to know what's happening, right? But he's saying it all out loud, and he's just holding his remote control in his hand the whole time, and every time the ball is flying, he's literally going like, doo-doo-doo, you know? So, why is no one looking over him going like, are you doing something with the ball? That whole volleyball game is ridiculous. So, in the end, the girls end up winning for the first time, and they get the trophy. Yay! So, they go to celebrate that night, and they have like this Halloween party. Like, was the party planned? Because all the dads show up. So I don't understand, like... Anyway, I'm not supposed to think about it. Don't think about Orpheus. So, like, Dracula shows up, and Frankenstein, and the Phantom. So all the dads are there. Oh, and there's this one part, you guys. Speaking of the food, right? This used to be my funniest line in this movie when I was a kid. I like to say it all the time. But, like, again... Shaggy and Scooby want to eat something, so someone made brownies. And they're eating the brownies, and then Miss Griswold's like, oh yeah, there's like mosquitoes in there and something in the batter or whatever. And then Shaggy says this.
Zoinks! Like there's itching in the kitchen, Scoob! Yeah!
I don't know, it's still funny to me after all these years. Itching in the kitchen. Okay. Alright, so Shaggy and Scooby are running around trying to get away from all the monsters because they're like, what the fuck? But in the end, they find that the monsters are friendly. You know, they're nice. They're like, we just want to meet you. Like, you know, you helped our girls win the volleyball game. But then when dawn comes, they all leave. And then that's when all the dads are like, now look here. You better fucking not let nothing happen to my daughter. I'm going to fuck you up. So now we get to the Revolta, right? Well, who's like the worst villain I've ever seen in a cartoon? Like, I hate this woman so much because she's just stupid and does nothing, and her plan just makes no sense. Oh, and at one point, okay, now look, y'all, Revolta lives technically in a castle, right? This is the Revolta castle. But every time you see her and the creeper guy, they have like hallways and not hallways, but like it looks like they're in a cave. They look like they're underground. There is some kind of cave system or something. Like it's all dirty and stuff. But There's this one part where they were spying on the people at Grimwoods, and I think the animators like forgot where they're supposed to be because the background is like the I keep want to say Griswold. It's the Grimwood place. You see like the paint in the back and stuff? That's not Revolta's house. What is that? Oh, animation errors. Okay, so Revolta has this stupid plan, and she's like, oh, look at these big monsters, like Dracula and them. Like, they used to be the most powerful monsters ever. And I guess now they got soft because they had kids, I guess is what she's, like, alluding to. So her plan is to, like, get the girls, turn them evil, and then have them as, like, her army of evilness or something. So what does that mean? So you just like sit back and do nothing? I guess that's her plan. And why is she striking now? You could have did this like last week, yesterday, last month. Like, why is she picking now to do this evil plan? I feel like these girls have been here for a while. So she uses Shaggy to lure the girls to this place called the Barren Bog. So what she does is she sends this spider bat. She had a cool idea, a spider bat. So this spider bat flies into the room and then creates this web around Shaggy's head. But like now he just made like Beats by Dre because well, I guess it's actually kind of clever, right? Because now she's talking to him through these like headphone things. Okay, I'll give you that. Like that's actually a clever thing. So she's telling him like, you're gonna lure the girls to this barren bog, blah blah blah, and then they're gonna be mine. So when he wakes up in the morning, he doesn't remember like why. He just says like, oh, we gotta go to this bog because he just can't bring them to her house. Apparently, like we have to have a rendezvous point. So they go to this bog. And of course the girls are like, ooh, quicksand, we love it. Because, they just love everything that's horrible. And the first girl to get taken is Winnie. They're playing this, like, hide-and-seek game. Winnie goes into this like, shed that's just sitting there out of nowhere. That should have been red flag number 1. Don't go into the creepy shed that's just sitting out here for no reason. So she goes in there, and then she gets the headphones put on her ears. And now she's like, I obey only Revolta. So, she ends up getting Fanty. And then eventually she gets Tannis and Elsa. And Sabella almost gets away. She turns into a bat and tries to fly away, but the damn spider bats get her. So now all the girls are like under the spell of Revolta. Her command. And the most ridiculous part is that this mysterious shed is just in the middle of nowhere. All of a sudden it turns into a rocket and just starts blasting off into the sky toward Revolta's house, who conveniently has this big huge skylight on the side of her castle. But we wind a little bit. So before the girls all got captured, it turns out the Calloway boys are also doing like this hike in the bog, of course. And they get caught in the quicksand, and then Elsa and Tannis help them out. So just keep that in mind, too. Alright, so Shaggy and them are like, oh my god, like, these monsters are gonna fucking kill us because their daughters have been kidnapped. They drive, they're pretty much following the damn flying sheds in the sky. So they're driving, they're following, and then they get to this castle. And they're like, oh my god, like, how do we get over there? Which is like, there's this path. Like, does the path not go to the castle? I don't know, but Shaggy, or not Shaggy, what's his name? Scrappy. Scrappy's like, oh, I'm gonna build this catapult. Which he does, and then like they stupidly fly. Like, okay, it's a cartoon. So I guess this catapult got them over to the castle. And they go in. So I guess Revolta's like potion that she has to make to revoltize these girls. That's not happening until midnight, right? So I don't know what time of day it is, but it's still early. So just making these girls like her prisoner. She makes them like clean the house. You got girls like mopping the floor, which is not even a floor. It's like it's the ground. You got people like dusting things. Why is she making them do housework? Do you not? I'm pretty sure that castle has like some jail cells somewhere. Like why is there no dungeon in this place? There's a funny part where Shaggy walks near a mirror. Well, Scooby does first. He gets scared because there's like this evil Scooby in the reflection. But then Shaggy goes over, looks at it, and there's an evil Shaggy in the reflection. So now this mirror monster like grabs Shaggy, pulls him in, and then he jumps out, right? So I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be good now. Like this thing's gonna be running around. Which it kind of does, and it chases Scooby around. And then at one point he gets burned by Matches, because Matches was supposed to stay home, but he followed everybody, so Matches is there. Matches burns this guy. And the mirror monster like runs back to the mirror, jumps in, and kicks Shaggy out. And then that's it. So we just wasted a good mirror monster. Like he did nothing. He just chased Scooby around. And I'm like, well, maybe he's gonna come back later. Maybe like someone else will run near the mirror and he grabs them, or you know, they're evil. I don't know. There's a mirror monster, and then that's it. The gag is over. So moving on. Alright, so anyway, let's just fast forward. So back to where like the girls saved the boys from the bog earlier. So that night they're all just like sleeping, but they're not sleeping because they're like, oh man, those girls were in trouble. We left. That was like hours ago. Y'all are in bed now. So they're like, oh man, we should just go and like try to save those girls. So they do. They get into this ridiculous flying machine, and then they go to Revolta's place, right? In the middle of the night. Which I never understood this either, because there just seems to be like one colonel in this big place. You see this building? There should be like 6 teachers up in here, and there should be at least like 30 boys, okay? And there's only 5 in this big place. Like, how is this place still open and running? Did they have to fire the rest of the staff because there's only 4 boys or 5 boys attending this semester? Like, I'm sorry, this is the stupid things I think of. Okay, so anyway, the boys go to the castle, and Revolta is about to revoltize the girls and make them evil. But Scooby and Shaggy like foil her plans, and at one point she turns Scooby into a frog, and then a spider bat chases him, but then stuff falls into the potion, and instead of making them evil, it makes them nice. And they get a hold of her wand, and they throw the wand into the potion, and she's like, oh my god, it's going to explode. So the Callaway boys come and put a rope down, and everyone gets on the rope, and they fly away to freedom, right? And then this stupid bitch, Revolta, all of a sudden out of nowhere, she goes, I still have my flying brooms. She's never used these brooms before. We don't know she even has brooms. So I guess because you're a witch, you fly a broom. But if I'm looking correctly at these brooms, they seem to have like jetpacks in them. So they're not even like a real witch's broom, right? Am I right? You gotta. Anyway, something happens. I guess her potion decides to shoot out of the sunroof and then shoots her and the creeper, and then I guess they fall to their deaths. I don't know. Are they still alive? I don't know, but her castle like melts down, and I guess that's the end of Revolta. The stupidest villain ever. So the movie ends with Scrappy doing a Scrappy rap, because why not? So there's like this hip hop music playing. Scrappy's singing this song. Well, he's rapping.
So with the cadets it was a snap to escape Revolta's trap. Now let's get loose and dance and clap while I lay on my Scrappy rap. And Fanty really does her thing. A dance for 2, the Fanty Fling. Shaggy and my Uncle Scoob are always in a junky groove.
Like great party, Miss G?
Oh, I hope the new arrivals think so too.
Huh? Like new arrivals?
Over there. Meet your new students and their parents.
New students? Like meet us in St. Louis? Yeah, real annoying.
Grimwood is like, oh yeah, we have new kids who came, and they're gonna be your new students too. And then you look, it's like an alien. I don't know, some kind of dinosaur thing. What is that, like the Loch Ness Monster? I don't know what's happening, but then Shaggy's like, fuck that. So him and Scooby and they grab Scrappy. They could have left Scrappy there. But they all get into the van and drive away. And okay, now what I want to know is, did Shaggy get paid yet? Because I feel like they were only there for like 3 days. They were definitely there for 2 days. I think they were only there for 2 days. Did he get paid? Alright, you guys, so that was Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School. I feel like it was more exciting as a kid. Although my feelings of Revolta are still the same. I used to be like, what is she doing? And why does she keep saying her name? We know your name. She's always like, and I, Revolta. And then something else happens. She goes, yes, because I, Revolta, and I'm going to revoltize people, and I'm going to revolta. See how annoying I am? That's how she is, okay? This movie. Okay, well, I guess. I don't know, have you guys seen The Legend of the Vampire? I don't know what it's about. I'll watch it one day when I'm bored. Alright, so yes, Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School. So, if I had to rate Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, ay. I'm gonna give this movie, I'm gonna give it 2. In my heart, I want to give it 1. Just because, you know, it was my childhood. And I don't want to drink all these shots right now. This movie is 2, okay? I'll give it the other shot for this line right here.
Zoinks! Like there's itching in the kitchen, Scoob! Yeah!
And you know what? And now that I think about it, the next time I watch this movie, I'm going to take a shot from all the times that, you know what, hold on. I might as well take these shots while I'm talking to y'all. I guess that's a smart thing to do. So, I'm going to take a shot every time Shaggy says zoinks. Because, good God. Now, it's funny on the TV show that, you know, he says this little catchphrase. I get it. The problem with this movie is that since he's in the Ghoul School, there's a zoinks for everything, because someone will say or do something and his sentence always starts with zoinks because he's always scared in this movie. It's so bad. You guys, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna watch this movie and I'm gonna count. I'll count and I'm gonna take a shot every time he says zoinks, and then I'm gonna get back to y'all because it's a lot. Alright, so this is the last shot, so cheers! Ooh, that was a good idea to do, not all of them at the same time. Alright, so, alright, so let me know your thoughts of Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School. Let me know in the comments if you ever seen it, do you remember it? What was your favorite part? Do you have a favorite character? Fun stuff. It's so funny watching it back. It's so ridiculous. Wait, hold on. I'm dying. Okay, that's better. Alright, you guys, so please like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you all in the next episode. So, until then, TTFN.